Welcome to the Inglorious Bards. I'm your humble Game Master Tom, and this is Adventure 17. We've had a crazy couple of adventures the last few weeks, and we're interested to see where things go. We're coming to you live on twitch.tv/IngloriousBards every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific. Come join us, join the chat. We're also available on our YouTube channel to check the video out after the fact, and available on all your favorite podcast players. Let's begin with a recap of the last two sessions from the split group, and we'll see what happened then.
After leaving Lady Talmadrin's, the group split in half, and three of them, which would be Iggy, Jix, and Idrisil, all headed north to grab the banner for King Phaon, if they could find it. On their journey, they encountered a couple of river drakes, almost encountered. They actually dodged getting out of the way while they were flying down the river. They met a sage who gave them some crazy advice, also indicated that there was a giant red dragon at the old castle that they were on their way to. They decided to skirt around the dragon to not deal with it and went to the keep instead. At the keep, they found that there was a bunch of hobgoblins who had taken over and killed, apparently, the soldiers that were there, and ended up getting into a battle, because from what they understood, the banner was actually in the keep. It was a hard-fought battle, and reinforcements started coming in from both sides against Navarran soldiers and the wolves that showed up at the same time, but they showed up just a little late. As Idrisil grabbed the banner, Jix fell dead. Meanwhile, down south, Xander, Sildren, and Sir Brenros went down to Thave, out of the country of Navarre, to find the last chalice. As they entered the town of Sarvide, Xander used a silver tongue and charmed his way through all sorts of different mishaps or areas that could have been major problems, and found themselves winding right up at the Temple of the Spider, where they found out that the chalice was taken by a lady named Ancre, who had a bunch of slaves and cultists outside of town at a buried underground city. When the heroes went and they found it, they found that they had been uncovering another tower of Scourgeonar. They went in, they encountered Ancre. They had a really, really massive battle against a giant spider, of course, and a big zombie. Took them both down, found out that the chalice was left behind, and then Sildren and Xander continued to pursue Ancre as she threw herself out the window. And that's where it ended, if you can believe that, right in the middle. So from that, let the adventure begin.
Under the dunes of Thave, a city lies buried beneath the sand. A woman named Incre has brought a workforce of laborers and cultists out to the desert. There they have dug out an old tower with a symbol carved into its side with a star pierced by a sword. Drinking from the final chalice stolen from Calavier, Incre's mind has been poisoned by a dark force and given dangerous magic. Three of our heroes snuck into the tower and attacked the mad woman. With her minions taken out and now outnumbered, Incre looks for a way out. My dreams, the darkness, nothing can save you now. With her face permanently stained black from the vile liquid she's consumed from the chalice, Incre leaps out a window of the tower and falls into a deep crevasse. There, she hits shifting sand on this smooth drop and slides down, down, down this canyon with increasing speed. Sildren looks back at Sir Brenros, as well as Xander, who has taken the form of a large spider.
You two stay here and find the chalice. Incre is mine.
Sildren leaps out the window after Incray. He hits the glassy chasm floor and is whisked away by the sliding sand. Yathane flies down the crevasse after him with her wings folded in to gain speed. Xander, the giant spider, looks back at Sir Brenros.
You heard the man. Stay in here and find the chalice. Incray is mine.
Fire jets out from all 8 of Xander's spider legs, and his transformed spider body flies out of the ruined tower into the crevasse. He chases after Sildren like a wobbly 8-legged rocket. Brenros looks around the quiet scene inside the tower and sighs.
It's going to be one of those days.
Brenros walks over to a pool of glowing blue liquid and spots the last chalice lying on the floor.
So much trouble to find such a simple thing. I'd always imagined being given the hero's honor of drinking from one of the Queen's chalices. Now that the last one has been corrupted, it must be destroyed before more evil is done with it.
The old knight bends down to pick up the chalice, but stops as the glowing water in the pool next to him churns. He slowly puts his hand to his sword and steps back. Something is definitely wrong. Out in the sandy crevasse, Sildren slides down the glassy bottom until it opens up into a huge drop. The druid tumbles over the edge of what has become a waterfall of sand. He falls and falls until hitting the top of a huge dune where all the falling sand has gathered over many days. Even the sand isn't soft enough of a cushion as his breath is taken away by the impact. The druid slides down a bit from the mountain of sand before coming to rest. He looks up at the bright sun and coughs before slowly rising to his knees. Suddenly, Incray leaps down from the top of the sand and blasts him with magical shards of metal. Sildren instantly summons a sapling tree from the sand with a wave of his hands that absorbs the shards. Incray is too fast, and she launches a torrent of blistering sand at the druid. Sildren shields his eyes but is blinded. Suddenly, the blur of a black bird dives down and screeches as Yathane claws at Incray's face. Sildren takes the brief moment to heal his wounds, but Incray juts out metal spikes from the sand. The spikes slice into one of Yathane's wings, and another spike slices into Sildren's foot.
She's too powerful. Yathane, get out of here.
Way back at the tower, Brenros watches the blue water within the pool churn. The water rises up several feet in the air in the form of a torrent. White glowing eyes appear at the top of the torrent before small spouts of water spiral out as arms and legs. It takes the shape of a 7-foot-tall being of glowing blue water. With a crunching sound, the liquid shape solidifies into a sinewy blue mass of arms and legs with glowing eyes for a head. It steps out of the pool next to the dropped chalice, and its eyes flash at Brenros. The old knight grips his shield tightly, knowing he stands alone.
Hold there. I did not come for you, only the chalice. It came from Queen Undana of Calavier, and it will be destroyed. Stand aside. I will claim my chalice.
You seek to destroy this chalice here? I care not for this trinket.
The being raises its foot and stomps down on the chalice, destroying it forever.
It is but a toy for the weak and bait for the foolish.
Brenros steps back confused. The being takes a step closer.
Explain yourself, creature, before I draw my blade and run you through.
It has already begun. Multiple towers have already fallen to my minions, and they have begun their rituals.
The being takes another step closer. Brenros backs away slowly.
More towers like this one. What rituals do you speak of?
The Dark One is coming. It is all a matter of time. Your essence of good and honor will strengthen the Dark One's heart and hasten his awakening. He will taste the blood of a champion of this world, a forgotten knight with little purpose, other than to be fed upon. And so your chalices were taken from your queen, and the last of them just happened to lure a weak-old hero to this very spot, to his destiny, to spill his blood for Skordrenar. Brenros lowers his shield. He's not sure what to feel. He lowers his head and drops his shoulders crestfallen. He thinks to himself,
all of this effort and blood to destroy these chalices, and it was just to lure me here? What have I done?
The old knight looks down at the ground defeated. The creature standing before him shudders in delight, sensing his internal struggle.
Have I failed my friends and my queen?
The creature steps closer. Brenros looks up.
No.
The old knight grips the hilt of his sword, raises his head, glares at the being, and draws his blade.
I am Sir Brenros of Calavier, Knight of the Order of the Vigilant. If you're here for my blood, come take some.
Monstrous sinew and steel sword collide. Back out on the mountain of sand, Sildren lies there bleeding. His body is covered in shards of metal. He tries to heal himself, but can't find the strength to raise his hands. Incray walks towards him with her black-stained face.
I have dreams of the coming of a darkness, of a being named Skordrenar who will claim this world.
Sildren pays her no attention and can see through weak eyes his raven following his last command. The raven flaps away on wounded wings.
Fly, Yathane. Fly.
I have dug out a tower from an age when Skordrenar once reigned. I play my part in bringing in a new age, and now you play your part in dying. She stands over Sildren and prepares to finish him off with another brutal spell of metallic violence. Any final words, Druid?
Sildren takes a few shallow breaths. He looks up at Incray, then looks far behind her and manages a smile. She's confused by his grin. With a weak voice, Sildren gives Incray one last piece of advice.
Duck.
Incoming fireball!
Racing towards the mountain of sand comes a large spider with the head of a gnome and jets of flame propelling it through the air. A huge wobbly ball of flame launches from the spider towards the top of the dune. Incray turns around just in time to see this mass of fire slam into her. The top of the mountain explodes in flames, sending Incray and Sildren sliding down the flame-covered dune.
Where is your god now?
Shrieking and patting out flames, Incray casts her last spell. A disc of iron lifts out of the sand and carries her back towards the buried city where her cultists wait. The Xaner spider flies over to Sildren, gently picks him up with its spidery legs, and then races over the dunes.
Hang on, buddy. We got her this time.
I love you, Xander.
Flying away on her metal disc, Incray looks back and sees the bizarre spider closing. Then the jets firing out of the spider's legs sputter and then stop altogether.
Oh no! I forgot the spell doesn't last that long!
The Xaner spider drops out of the sky with Sildren still clutched in its legs.
I hate you, Xander.
As Incray escapes back to the buried city, she sees the spider fall out of the sky and disappear into a dune with a large puff of sand. Back at the tower, the creature slams a glowing arm at Brenros, who blocks it with his shield. The creature grabs his sword arm and holds tight.
It's definitely one of those days.
Your death today will hasten the arrival of a new age. Do not resist. You are too old, too weak.
I get that a lot.
Sir Brenros, you are alone in this tower, half buried in the sand, overlooking the crevasse. This creature has your sword arm grappled. What would you like to do now?
With the one sword arm grappled, I whisper to him, "My other arm works just fine," and cross him with the shield intact there, and
Okay.
launch an attack on him.
Make a shield attack roll.
Make a good one.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, well, didn't work that well. 17 to hit.
With the 17, you swat at the creature but don't seem to do any damage. It takes a swing at you. What's your wound situation like, by the way?
It's pretty bad. I have 46 health remaining.
All right. It swipes at you with this weird, sinewy, bluish material punch for a 26 to hit.
26 will not make it through my armor.
And then a freaking 18 to hit.
Will not make it through my armor.
And then a 24 to hit. It pounds and pounds and pounds, and you're being buffeted and hit, but it will not get through your armor. Your turn again. What would you like to do?
I'd like to try and wrestle free of him to gain some purchase. Am I prone?
You are not. No, it's kind of like leaning over you, and you're standing. It's got your sword arm, and you're kind of swatting it with your shield. Go ahead and make an athletics roll. Make a couple.
Athletics roll is a 25.
With a 25, you wrest your sword arm free and have it clear of the creature's grasp, and you have 2 actions remaining.
There you go.
We'll slash at him.
Okay.
With a 35 to hit.
35 is a critical hit.
Yeah. Take that, water sinew.
40 points of damage.
God, nice.
Holy cow. 40 points of damage. You slice brutally and sever off the arm that was just recently grabbing onto your arm. It falls to the ground and then splashes into water, disappearing into a pool of liquid on the stone tiles. You have 1 more action remaining.
A quick free action. Go back to your master. Tell him he's failed. And I raise the shield, bracing for another attack.
All right. It attacks you once with a, geez, what is that? That's, ignore that number there. That is 26 to hit again.
No.
28 to hit.
Not with the shield raised.
Oh! And then hits and hits, cannot get through. I'm sorry, it's using its offhand now, I guess. And then vomits forth a whole bunch of blue glowing liquid. You need to make a reflex saving throw, please.
Gross, make a good one.
A 22.
With a 22, you are sickened and slowed. Both conditions, which are not, either one of them's not good. Sickened means you're going to be -1 to everything for a bit, and slowed means you lose one of your 3 actions, which is bad. And you feel this blue stuff in your mouth. You start coughing it up. You don't know how nasty this stuff is. It's your turn, but you only have 2 actions.
2 actions. All right. Returning the favor with an attack.
Returning the favor with vomit?
That's coming as I'm going there.
That's
and you can also spend 1 action to try and heave and making a fortitude saving throw.
Oh, okay.
It
All
won't
right.
go away naturally until you do that.
The first attack was a 21.
21, you swing and miss. Kind of your eyes are kind of clouded by this liquid.
Yes. Oh, -1 to everything. That includes the attack roll?
Yeah.
That'd be a 20 then. Okay. Something to keep in mind. And I will try to cough up this goo.
Okay, make a fortitude saving throw.
Fortitude. Was the first one fortitude or reflex?
It was reflex on the first one.
Ah, okay. Fortitude.
Now that it's in you, fortitude.
Oh, not a good roll. 16.
16. You can't get that finger down your it's just
I need to take my gauntlet off. Oh. Right.
Okay, and then as you're trying to throw up, it critically hits you with a 20, a natural 20. You are hit for only 24 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
It will strike again with a 25. It's rolling well. 25 is a miss, I think, against you.
Is a miss, yes.
Okay. And it vomits one more time at you. Make a reflex saving throw.
Jeez. Oh, it was a different number. It is a number I'm not going to use. I'm going to hero point this.
There you go. I was going to say,
All right.
Brenros, you're rolling horrible.
And here we go.
Ah!
Natural 20. You not only avoid the gook, but as you bend down, you compress your stomach and vomit forth the other gook that was already in you. You are no longer sickened 1. You don't get hit with the new gook. You are still, however, slowed for the time being. It is your turn. You have 2 actions.
Can I vomit on him with the natural 20?
You may not.
A
No.
little bit? Okay. All right. I will attack. Is a 28 to hit.
That is a hit.
Yeah, there you go.
8. Yeah, I'm not sickened, so that is a 28. 9 points of damage.
Not a good damage roll. You hack a bit. You splash some water out of it. You have 1 action left. You can also hear, by the way, some cries of people off in the distance. You're in this honeycomb Swiss cheese type of stone buried city, and you can hear some cries of alarm being yelled out, by the way.
Okay. This time the shield will go up.
Okay. Shield is up. The creature seizes upon that with a 28 to hit.
Oh, thank God the shield went up.
Oh, man.
Not
Keep
gonna
getting so
succeed.
close. Wait, that's a 32. No, it's its second attack, -5. It's a 27 to hit. It's just slamming and slamming against the shield. It cannot get through. For its third action, it's going to slam one more time. No, not at all. Sir Brenros, you are ready to go, and you've shaken off that slowness. You have all 3 actions ready to go.
All right. The first one would be to burst a lay on hands on myself.
Okay.
The second to follow is an attack. There we go. A 26 to hit.
26 is a hit. How much does your lay on hands heal?
24 points of damage.
Nice.
19 points of damage on that hit.
Woo.
With 19 points of damage, you heal yourself, you slice through the creature, and it drops in a big splash, almost completely disappearing on the ground. There's a little bit of solidity to its head section with its glowing eyes, and it looks up at you and mumbles, "You have already failed," before your boot stamps it out.
Back to your master. We're done with you here. But rest assured, I will now seek you out. And giving one last look at the chalice that remains, verifying that it is destroyed,
It is absolutely destroyed.
I will begin to march my way out.
All right.
Probably in a
Stomping
good
in puddles
step.
on your way.
Yeah, no, avoiding all of the puddles in case there are other surprises waiting. But yes.
All right, you start making your way out, and you find this span that crosses that crevasse, the stone bridge, and you walk across it. As you do, you see there are 2 people coming in a line wearing robes that seem most displeased to have you there. The lead one has a short sword drawn and says, "There!" and starts running right at you. It's a narrow span, just wide enough for 1 person, so 2 can't attack you at once, and they're coming right at you.
Oh, so no cover either. Okay.
No cover, and you're about 30, 40 feet above that big crevasse drop that everyone has been disappearing into.
Okay. I will meet him with a charge of my own. I will close
right.
the distance.
Go for it. You can take your full 3 actions.
Okay.
Isn't there a shove ability?
Technical.
You want to do a dominoes? Bloop, 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 bloop.
32 to hit.
32 is a critical hit.
There you go.
Woo.
That is 27 points of damage.
27 points of damage. You slice this guy diagonal across the chest. Blood goes flying. You cut through his robe. He spins and topples off, falls 30 feet, hits that sandy, glassy crevasse, and then just starts sliding down lifelessly, down and down and down the crevasse. The other guy turns tail and runs.
I will let him run, but I'm running after him and using that as
Okay.
as an escape.
You run after him.
Giving quick pause to look down into this crevasse to see where my friends have gone.
You run across the span right before you disappear to the other side of this crevasse area, a cliffside. You look down and you can just see that one dead guy's body just slowly turning as he goes down, 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 down. And you see it just seems to empty out into a big canyon way down the way. Make a perception roll.
Okay.
Now that I think about it.
Make a perception roll.
Make a good perception roll. Oh, that's pretty good.
You can also see above the crevasse from that direction is a disc of metal carrying Incray, the woman you were just in battle with several moments ago. And she is maybe half a mile away, slowly flying right back to this location.
God. All right. I can't go jumping down in there. I continue my ascent to get out of this canyon.
All right, you ascend into the canyon. You go through these different galleries and little nooks and crannies of this old building, and you pass by an open doorway. You go up some stairs, but they're the wrong steps. You head back down, start finding the stairs that lead to the 3 towers that kind of jutted out. The tops of them jutted out of the sand. That's the way you came in, if you remember that at all. And you start. Go ahead.
While I'm doing this fleeing, I remember the Skordrenar text. Have I seen any other instances of that on the way or through?
Good question. And no, you don't see anything like that.
Right.
All right. You start making your way up, and as you do so, you are possibly attacked by a sneaky cultist. Make a perception roll as someone tries to stab you in the back just as you go up the final stairs.
It is a 20 non-natural. 22.
You do not see him. He gets an attack on you with a 20 to hit, misses his sneak attack, and then a 22 to hit, stabs, misses. You can turn around and deal with him or try and keep running up the stairs. What do you want to do?
I give him a quick. What's the terrain like here? Are we going upstairs, kind of?
Yeah,
thing?
it's narrow stairs that are spiraling. You just took the first 2, and he was waiting behind them and tries to stab you and just scrapes your armor.
Can I
with his
get
dagger?
Can I get the Sparta kick in and knock him down a flight of stairs as I try to ascend?
Absolutely. You need to make an athletics roll and then say the line.
Athletics roll. Why didn't the die go there? Sorry, technical issue. There we go. This is my tower! And I kick him down the stairs.
All right, with a 31, that's a
31.
critical hit, and you break his neck as he goes down.
Brutal.
You run up the stairs, you spiral up, you break out into the sunshine again. There's sand dunes everywhere. No sign of your friends, no sign of anything. You look back and kind of hidden and tucked out of the way. You do see the 3 horses that you brought.
Can I, or have I any ability to whistle for my horse kind of thing with my ride?
Yeah, I think that might be possible. Make a nature roll.
Nature roll.
You bought the ride feet. You paid for it. Let's give you a bonus. Because I don't think you got a good nature, and I don't think this is going to work.
7.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Oh!
Jeez.
Your horse comes right over. It somehow gets out of the simple loop and comes trotting over. And yeah, your horse is there. And you're watching both of those tower openings. They're essentially the top part of a tower, 3 towers that are now buried in sand right up to their balconies. You're watching for anyone coming, and then your horse slowly comes right up next to you.
I need to mount the horse, and I'm trying to, on this terrain, find a better vantage point to try and find where my companions have gone.
Okay.
So whether it's, I don't know. I'm
How would you
looking
do
for
that?
them. I'm spending time looking for where they went, if anywhere, and
You saw them jump out the window, so where do you want to head?
I don't suppose there's no way I can call Yathane, right?
There is no. Oh, that's cool. You see Yathane flying off in the distance. Slowly. Yathane was told to leave, and you right now are riding through the desert on a horse with no name. Do you have a name for your horse, by the way? You got to have one now.
I'm calling this one Nan. Nan.
Okay.
This is my horse Nan.
It goes great with curry. All right.
I'm amazed at how fast you caught that name. You're like, oh, it's Nan. Obviously.
Clearly.
Obviously.
There's story behind it, but there you go. I'm tracking Yathane now. This is
All right.
I figure where's Yathane? There's Sildren.
You follow
There's Xander.
Yathane. Yathane is doing a big wide circle up in the sky, and you ride along, and you find yourself riding parallel this crevasse that goes down, and you see yourself heading towards a big valley drop. And as you approach, your horse comes to a stop. Yathane lands maybe 200 feet away on some sand and seems to be nuzzling her right wing. You need to make another perception roll.
Oh, all right. Perception. Why it's not on that page?
I think it's under skills.
An 18.
With an 18, you find your friends, but it takes you quite some time, and you're looking and you spend way too much time looking for your friends that you can see, before you spot your friends, you can see about 5 horses riding in your direction quickly from where you just came at the 3-tower entrance.
Okay. Quickly making my way to my friends, spurring my horse on to no end. To try and get to them quickly.
All right, you start riding, and essentially there's this weird cliff, and you're looking, you can see some rough switchback cuts in the one side, and you start trying to get your horse Nan down in that direction. As you get close, Yathane you can see is injured, and Yathane, who has no affinity to you whatsoever, does fly over and land on the back of your horse. As you start making these switchbacks. You need to make a riding roll, though, because you are being chased.
All right.
Good riding roll.
Does my riding feat, because it says something like it prevents certain rolls or it automatically succeeds certain rolls?
What does it
What?
read? What does
This is why I got ride, folks.
Yeah, ride. Ride says you automatically instead of need to attempt a check to do a move action. Any animals you mount to act in your turn. Automatically succeed a commanding. No, that's for basic moves. This is pushing. You're pushing the car faster than it's designed. Is what we're essentially trying
pushing
to
away. Sorry, what do I need to do? A generic
nature.
roll. Nature.
What is your nature?
I'm gonna re-roll that.
What did you roll?
A roll on the die of 3 for a total of 12.
Total of 12.
I will spend my hero points.
I'm sure that's fine. Spending both hero points in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Nothing could go wrong.
Wasn't that the first one he spent?
15.
With a 15, you are being chased, and you start going down this switchback and doing a turn and doing a switchback. You can see these guys are chasing after you, and a crossbow bolt or 3 are fired in your general direction.
Jeez.
We will do plus 10 to each of them. These are 3 different people shoot. They slow down is the good news and shoot down at you with a 21 to hit, a 28 to hit, and a natural 20 to hit.
The 28 will succeed.
28 hits for 15 points of damage, and the natural 20 is a critical hit for only 18 points of damage. 2 crossbow bolts hit you. You need to make another riding nature roll to spur your animal quickly.
All right.
We can't see him yet, can we?
Make perception roll. And how long does your spider form last, Xander?
Only a minute.
Okay.
So I shrunk shortly after crashing to the ground, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Both of us or just Xander?
Both of you. No, not you, Sildren. You're messed up. Xander.
Yeah!
Am I considering
Natural
this-
20!
Oh, shut up.
For a total of 30.
Xander, you do see the action unfolding. It's about maybe half a mile away on the side of this cliff, coming down and down this switchback is Sir Brenros. You can see there are several cultists riding horses, firing down upon him. And Brenros, you were making a riding roll for me, a nature roll?
I'm making a riding roll. Is this considered like a standard combat? Can I use can I ride, bear the shield, and for one of my actions also do a lay on hands?
You can do those two things if you take a -2 to your riding roll.
A -2 to my riding. That'll be a -2 to my nature.
Yeah. Do you want to commit to the ride, or do you want to do some of those defensive healing things? What do you want
I
to do?
need to do the defensive things. So
Okay.
it's laying on hands, letting go of the reins a bit, trusting in my steed, and performing a lay on hands as well.
Okay. This is your last one for a while, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you bring your shield up over your head, and they will get free attacks, and we'll get to you in just a second, Xander.
I'm doing my ride roll right now. Is a 26 with the negatives.
3 shots are fired, 2 miss, 1 hits your shield, doesn't go through. You continue to race. You reach the bottom. They are now just starting from the top. They put their crossbows away and now start trying to get down quickly. Xander, what do you want to do? You're half a mile away, and you have Sildren mostly dug up out of the sand.
I'm all panicky. Sildren, hold on. Brenros is coming. He's really far out there, but he's riding fast. What could I do for you?
Just get me upright.
All right, I can do that.
Somehow I'm picturing Sildren, I'm picturing Brenros flying over in a skiff and having magnetic things pick up R2-D2 and C-3PO and then flying away. I don't know who's who, but that's what I'm picturing.
Xander's much shorter, so I imagine him as R2-D2.
R2-D2, all right. Brenros, you are riding fast across the sand. You can again have that choice of being defensive with a -2, or you can push really hard to get more distance from these guys as you are heading towards your friends.
That defensive is pretty darn important. Also, I will be sticking with that. The other part is, I'm assuming these bolts are piercing in some way?
Yep.
I do have resistance to that. Would that apply here?
Yep.
Can I return 6 hit points then for the loss?
You can in a bit. Go ahead and make your riding roll right now.
Okay.
This is for overall speed.
All right. Just need a big fat button. 20 -2 is 23. For that.
23 is not a bad job at all. You ride hard, you push Nan quickly, and you can then go ahead and get back that 6 hit points for your natural resistance to piercing damage. You see Xander is standing on the sand and just somehow pushing on Sildren's butt to keep him upright, and Sildren's just kind of just hanging there, floppily bobbing, and you race up.
Floppily bobbing?
Floppily bobbing. That needs to be the adventure party's name.
Floppy bobber.
And Brenros, you ride up. You guys see Brenros come up. He looks haggard. He looks tired. He's got the shield up. He's pointing back to these dervishes racing up with his single horse. And you do see Yathane is along for the ride.
Are you all right?
We are alive.
We have to get out of here. They'll be coming soon. More of them and more of them.
They're coming now.
Sildren starts casting.
All right.
And it's in the middle of this desert sand. This wall of thorns start to appear and spread out across the basically where these guys are coming from. is where we are. Is there any? Is it narrow in this crevasse at all?
No, you are
Okay.
outside the crevasse in a big valley of where the sand has dropped down in. Just lots of sand. But you can certainly slow them down.
Yeah, if it seems like it would be, it doesn't feel like it's going to do what I want it to because I'll just ride around it. So disregard that.
All right. What are you guys doing? You got 3 people, 1 bird, 1 horse.
Healing. So first off, I'm going to spend my 4th level heal on Brenrose. So Brenrose, you get the Febreze treatment. And you are healed for 47 points of damage.
Ooh, jeez.
I'm also going to heal Yathane directly after that, and she will be healed for 33 points of damage. So she will be back to normal. And then draw my longbow and prepare to stand and deliver.
All right, Sildren's got his longbow out, an arrow knocked. Brenrose, you're on your horse, turned around to face the oncoming 3
And
dudes.
handing up in kind of the perch style, getting Yathane up into the air if she'll take flight.
She is landing on Sildren's shoulder, waiting for a command.
And Brenrose will spur his steed into a charge.
You're charging the last ride of the Rohan, and Xander, you haven't done anything. These guys are closing in. What do you want to do?
How far are they?
300, 400 feet?
That's enough! You keep getting them! And Xander will bring a big round ball of fire straight up from the inside out, glowing bright red, and right over Brenrose's shoulder, cast a fireball at the whole group.
All
Or at least
right.
the lead animal.
Brenrose, it goes flying past you. This big ball singes and it smashes right between these 3 riders. And I've got clearly a fail and a fail, but then I rolled a 24 on a reflex save.
Oh, it's just enough.
Okay, so they take full damage, half damage. What's the damage?
Huyaga!
Whoa!
32 fire
Wow.
damage. 16 for the half.
That's not
With-
split either. That's each. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I imagine some horses are going to be in pain too on that.
Indeed. You wipe out 2 of the guys, and they are blown to smither. Flaming chunks go flying. The 3rd guy is hurt badly, still on his feet for the moment, but his horse is then wiped out from underneath him, and he goes splashing into the sand and kind of just getting on his knees and shaking his head and getting all the sand off. And Sir Brenrose, you're charging right down on him.
This is a what do they call it? The cavalry charge where they use the horse to butt into
all right.
whoever's
Oh
not
my
mounted.
god.
I was thinking you're going to put on a jaunty little white helmet and polo him. Sure,
If I had a hammer, I probably would do that. But
If I had a hammer, make a attack roll. No, make it. You're not attacking. You're doing an animal thing. Make a nature roll and add +2.
add +2 nature. Adding +2 is a 29.
With a 29,
Yeah!
you ruin this guy's day and trample him, and he dies crushed in the sand. You stop, look around. You can see there's 2 or 3 more still about half a mile away, and way up at the top where you came from, they see the violence and they disappear back over the ridge.
Okay.
They look over, see it, and are like, "Oh, look at each other." Just-
Let's tell her we got him.
He's dead. Did you see the body? Yeah. Brenrose doesn't really break stride, comes back around and meets up with his companions. Well, that takes care of all of them. Let's worry about getting you tended to.
Incray survived. Does she need to be dealt with?
Where did she go?
Brenrose points off into the direction where he saw her fly. I saw her atop a metal disc flying away.
Ah!
I don't know that we're
considering
in...
I assumed the worst. I thought you both were. I thought the worst.
Xander drove her off. I'm not sure we're in a condition to make it back through to her.
Well, let's get you atop this horse and at least get some going. It's just the one horse. I wasn't sure where you all were, but it should be able to take you, for now, a short distance.
Well, we can get back to our horses up the tower on the other side, right?
Yes, absolutely. And
Unless she went there. Did she go there? Oh, I want to burn her so bad.
What, did she go in that direction?
She was flying right back to her digging site excavation tower that you were just at. Yes.
But the town. Were you talking about going back to the town or to?
I want to take care of Ancre. How much more powerful could she be?
Seems like she went to the tower itself, Sir Benros.
Well, you appear very tired. I don't imagine we do much against her right now. And the good news is the chalice is destroyed.
Congratulations!
Then we've done what we must. Let us fall back, recover our wounds, and come up with a plan.
And if it wasn't for Yothane, I wouldn't have found you at all.
Good girl.
And riding back to town?
To the town of Sarvid, am I hearing that right?
I believe so.
Yeah, so getting our horses first, I
Yeah.
guess, right? Because we each had just one.
Yeah, your horses are back at the compound that Brenros just fled from.
That's leading us right back to the cultists and other guys. Right?
Considering I consider ourselves lucky to have made it this far.
We can do this! Let's take them all down! I'm pumped!
I admire your spirit, but considering Sildren is very badly wounded, and at a 10-minute mark of chatting, I'll have a lay on hands go off on him.
Okay. You're just going, and 10 minutes. Okay.
Now I'm talking. No, stop touching me in the middle of the conversation.
Tom, how many wounds did I take during the encounter with Ingray?
Let me look at the...
Because I was only at 14 at the time. Before all the metal
14.
spikes. And...
You were at 56.
Ow. So I have 15 hit points left. So yes.
We'll add 24 more on. And
Great, you look great. You look fine now. Let's go get her.
I since we have the chalices destroyed, my oath is fulfilled here. Does she deserve to be destroyed?
Did you see what she did? She kept talking about her other god that she serves, and she has a black face. She threw metal at Sildren.
And we could lose both of you if we go down now.
We must fall back and recuperate. I don't have much left to aid us.
Press
Xander?
many battles back together. Back to back.
Xander looks up at the tower. Just shakes his fist, just hoping she sees all of it. Just
Suddenly the metal disc starts coming back.
Yeah, I know.
It's a metal frisbee. Shonk.
Zenner.
all right. But this isn't over.
No, it is not. These towers of Scourgeonar are building concern. I think they must be dealt with in some way.
Perhaps in force.
We have to figure out a way to we have to get back to our companions. And in numbers, deal with
Actually,
these.
That's not a bad idea. If we meet them in Tabernary, that's where the other tower is anyway. Maybe we can find something to do with it there.
I like this plan. Speaking of Scordonar, in that one time when we were going to have me destroy the chalice, which is done, but not by my hand. Another creature, another entity,
Alright.
talked of Skordrenar. Creature, a messenger at best. That has a growing concern now. This Skordrenar is going to become more and more prominent. His words echo even now through some of those halls. I don't know what it all means, but it is going to be a problem in the future. So coming back in numbers perhaps would be best.
We gotta find out more about him. Let's get back!
And Brenros presses on hard to the town, carrying his companions.
All right.
Sildren will heal himself as well for 34 points of damage, bringing himself actually back to full health now.
What? So you're ready to go take on Encre?
Let's do it! I have no offensive or defensive or healing spells left, but sure, why not?
Sure.
What could go wrong?
All right, you guys make your way back to the town of Sarvid. It is a couple hours ride, and you leave the dunes behind and head more into baked badlands, cracked ground with some shrubs. That then gives way to a valley that has that very thin, a couple inches of water, mini lake in it, very shallow lake with tons of white salt everywhere, mounds of salt, tons of workers, and then the middle of this lake is a raised plateau where there are about a couple dozen stone buildings that are temples, and then inside that large circle are just 100 or so tents, all gathered in different clusters.
Before we actually get to the town, talking to the rest of the group, would it be best for us to just head back to the west? To forego the town, head back to the west, since we're going to have to come back here soon, I believe, anyways. What's the purpose in going back to the town?
The flesh dealer. If you recall, you said we had unfinished business.
We do.
But we can save that for more unfinishing, I guess, of business for later.
Well,
It could be less finished.
my horse is only going to carry all of us so far for so long.
And the horse looks back and nods.
Well, we can walk
in the town, but
we can walk and take turns as necessary.
I can just fly.
A minute at a time. Whee, flap. Whee, flap. Whee, flap.
I'm out of spells. Just rest for a day.
Oh.
He gets like half a mile per day of traveling, and that's it.
Are you suggesting we ride for Tabernary as we are?
Indeed.
With one horse?
Do we have the ability to purchase more horses within the town?
You own a bunch of horses in the town.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because we had only taken 3. Yes, actually. Okay, let's go get those horses and get the hell out of here.
All right. You guys ride through the lake, your feet clomp away through the salt, and you make your way to the stable. You reclaim your horses. So Brenros, you're back to 3, and Xander and Sildren, you're back to 2. And Brenros, you have 3 horses. One's called Nan. Quickly, what are the other 2 names?
Nan, Yosef with a Y, and Kibi. K-I-B-I.
Okay. Some random names. All right. And you guys mount your horses, check your supplies, and you head back northwest to the Kingdom of Navarre. Am I hearing that correct?
Towards Tabernary, yeah, I believe.
All right. You're heading to the town of Tabernary, and you're heading there. Why?
That's where our meeting place is, where we intend to reconvene with the the other team.
The plan was to meet up at Peg's. And since we're there, maybe we can find out more about Skordrenar, since he came out of the freaking vault here, the crypt.
All right.
Xander catches up Brenros as we get through it. There was this one time that a giant skeleton came through. We had to go...
You guys then start the long journey of several days, like 5, 6, 7 days back. No, probably 5 days. Back northwest, out of the Badlands of Thave and up northwest to the Kingdom of Navarre. In the northern plains of Navarre lies Bracken Hill Keep. Bodies lie strewn about the courtyard of the keep as Phaon and a handful of wolves remain after a bloody battle. The king lowers his sword as the fighting dies down. The fire in his eyes quickly fades, and an exhausted man is left standing there amongst many dead. He looks at the dead keep garrison, dead hobgoblins, dead Navarran soldiers, and dead wolves, and shakes his head. Too much violence. A white-haired wolf named Reese limps over to the king. All the soldiers are down, but we lost 5 of our 8 men. King Phaon doesn't seem to hear him, stands over the body of Captain Phanar, and just looks at the captain for a while. I taught him how to hold a sword when he was a boy. His father even named him after me. Phanar, caught up in violence, terrorizing the countryside, hunting me down. Now he's here, dead. The 2 other wolves left standing from the battle look after their wounds. One of them, a rat folk with a short sword, checks the dead. The other one, a strong half-orc with a curious scar across his face, comes up to the king. The half-orc gets the king's attention and motions towards a dwarf and elf kneeling next to a fallen goblin. The half-orc points at the group.
King, there are some others over here.
King Phaon looks over and recognizes the heroes. He walks over to them with a solemn look on his face.
Who are they?
Friends. The king stands beside Idrisil and places his hand on the elf's shoulder.
King Phaon.
My defenders of the realm. I'm grateful to see you here, and sad to see this day brings us another loss. Idrisil hands over a wrapped-up flag to Phaon.
Your banner, King. We recovered it at great cost.
I see. It's not important right now. We have friends to take care of. Iggy kneels over Jix's body, closes the goblin's eyes, and straightens his hair.
I should have been there, buddy. I should have saved you. Why did you have to do that? Why did you have to get back up? You stupid goblin. Why did you have to be a hero? Now who's gonna make fun of the way I eat? Who's gonna call me Igster?
The king turns and addresses the 2 wolves, the ratfolk and half-orc. Our time of running from the soldiers, running from the Senate, is over. These are the defenders of the realm. They've saved my life once before, have kept this kingdom safe time and time again, and reports say they've pushed the Senate and those who oppose us in Mearscon to the brink. We owe them more than we can ever repay. The half-orc with the scarred face nods at Idrisil.
It's an honor, Elf. We've heard a lot about you.
The other king's man, the rat folk, is suddenly grabbed by an enemy not quite dead. A blade is pressed up against the creature's throat before an arrow sails across the courtyard, slaying the dying soldier. The rat folk scurries away as Idrisil lowers his bow.
I am not in the mood to be honored today.
Agreed. We need to tend to our wounds and tend to our dead. Then we make plans for our return to the city and to retake the throne. The people of Navarre must be freed. Idrisil and Ignal Heavybringer, you've sacrificed much. Too much. I have a good man in our ranks who would do well in your service. It would serve our cause and be a favor to me if you took him on board to help you with your work. Idrisil looks over at Iggy for confirmation, but the dwarf won't take his eyes off his fallen friend.
We'll take all the help we can get, Your Grace. But if I could have a word.
The king nods and then points over to his remaining wolves. You there, you have a new assignment. Join the defenders in their work, as there are dangerous days ahead. It's time we take back Navarre. The scarred half-orc says goodbye to his ratfolk friend. The wolf picks up his pack and trots over to Idrisil.
Oh, so sorry to meet you under such, how you say it, darker times, but I am here to help and I am at your service. You will find no one more dedicated than me.
Standing before you is a small ratfolk dressed in a tabard, wearing a short sword and with a swashbuckler's hat. He smiles warmly with big, fluffy cheeks.
Howdy ho, I am Percy von Skeetenlever, loyalist to the king, to Navarra, and to the defenders of the realm.
What did you say?
I'm
I can't understand your accent. It's.
I'm
What was your name, friend?
Percy von Skeetenlever.
Percy. It's a non-
Percy.
Piercy, like Pierce.
That's this.
Piercy, I am Igno. Heavy Bringer.
Hello, y'all.
Call me Iggy.
Iggy.
It's easier.
Okay, dwarf.
As I said, we are ever grateful to have you amongst us. I'll consider you a friend from this point on.
And you saved my life back there. I'm forever grateful, and you watched over me, so I will watch over you too. Thank you.
I take that with great respect. Now, would you join me in my words with the king?
I don't know have the words, but sure.
Well, it's more me doing the talking. You can just listen.
Okay.
If you
All right, you guys head over to the king. This is probably first. Tim, gain a hero point because I'm just grinning like an idiot.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna need a full spelling of all of the names and titles this guy holds. Is it Von Cleaver? Is that what you said?
Von Skeetenlever.
Skeet and Lever. Okay.
No, not Skeet and Lever. Skeetenlever.
Okay. Okay. I'll
Dirty man.
I'll get a spelling from you on the journey somewhere else. Your Grace. I need.
The king turns to you. Yes, Idrisil.
Your Grace, the news we have from south of here all has to do with this goblin that lies before you. Your Grace, this is Jix of House Semirol, the only noble house left in Mearscon. We have been to Mearscon, we have tried diplomacy, we have tried more vicious tactics. We cannot sway the Senate. We have done all we can, but it is time for the wolf to come home. I've spoken with Lady Talmaldrin. I've brought her to our side in as few words as I can share.
He nods.
She requests a messenger, and I can think of no messenger greater than yourself.
I am grateful for you. I had not heard of you speaking with Talmaldrin. That is good news. I was not sure where her alliance lay. From what I hear from our mutual friend in Mearscon, Lord Iendamore, he speaks highly of you and says you have done very well. with your dealings in Mearscon. His most recent message states that the Senate, in particular Senator Kithad, is at a critical point. Apparently, a lot of his access to resources and funds have come to an abrupt halt. Lord Endemore believes you have something to do with that as well.
We have done what we can to dissuade the brotherhood amongst the houses, such as there was. We have disrupted their ongoing banking procedures. We have stolen great artifacts from them. But Your Grace, without you there, we have no standing of your claim.
I agree. It is time to return. The Senate has set loose the Brotherhood upon the other towns here in Navarre. They now have a presence, a force, and in most cases, a new mayor placed in town. From Mosshaven to Shepherd's Dell to Edlin Home are now under control of the Brotherhood. The Senate is desperate. They are trying to reach the people and earn the will and hearts of the people as best they can. We need to make our move as what used to be a group of loyal men and brave warriors that are the wolves are now what we see here before us. And he points to the, 5 of you here.
Mm-hmm. Your Grace, Devar may have some more men within Mearscon. We should contact him.
That sounds like a good idea. I have not seen Devar in some time.
Though the news of Mearscon, the most pressing news I must share with you is this. Should your face be seen within the walls of Mearscon, it would be death among instant sight.
How do you propose we get in?
I do have a way of getting you, not into the city securely, but once within the city, I have a place where you could hide. And I'll pull him in a little bit closer, and I'll just say, this cannot be heard amongst anyone except those in this room and those you trust with your life. Surely those wolves are among that, but until I am absolutely sure, I cannot share with anyone else. And I will hand him a note that simply says, Ableton's warehouse?
Boarding house.
Boarding house in the Aetherius district.
Okay.
And I'll say meet in 2 weeks' time in the 3rd room on the top floor on the note.
I will pay a visit to Lady Talmaldrin then, and I will meet you in 2 weeks' time at this boarding house. There are some patrols left from the Navarran soldiers, the worst of which was Captain Fenar. He was attacking several towns along the way, harassing them, looking for us. We chased him down here. We had no idea you were here, and chased him down and decided to make a stand and not us being attacked is one thing, but them harming the citizens of Navarre to get to us was unacceptable.
These men have no honor left in them. It's up to us. It is up to you, Your Grace, to save what's left of this kingdom.
Then I ask to meet me there with all due safety and see if you can bring Lord Endemore, as I'm sure he will be most valuable with information and assistance. And we will then make plans from there.
What we can do, we will do our utmost. I advise taking some of the armor from these soldiers, perhaps making it easier to get into the city. Ignal, do you still have those yellow cloaks?
Yes, of course. Sorry, I didn't realize I was there. That's why I've been being quiet.
That's all right.
I hand over the two yellow folks.
Okay.
These should disguise you well enough to get you within the walls of Mearscon. Show no sign of wolf heritage, and possibly, if you can, find some kind of disguise other than these clothes. But be swift and be safe.
He says, Reese, and he points to the other wolf, the half-orc, and Reese says, we'll make sure he gets in there safely. And Reese takes the paper and he says, I know where this place is at. The king says, before you go, grab what supplies you can from within this keep. I'm sure it's stocked well. Take whatever you need. And I might have something that might help you. And he strides into the keep, the main compound. This place has been held by a small force of men. They were recently killed and slaughtered by hobgoblins. So that was battle 1. Battle 2 were you guys versus the hobgoblins. And then battle 3 was the king taking on. It was just a compounding mess. So he walks in. You can see there's damage and carnage and chaos and spilt food and some blood from the hobgoblins ransacking it. And he starts, him and Reese and the half-orc start trying to gather some supplies. The king motions for Idrisil to follow him. Yeah.
I give his soldiers a wink and I go in.
Piercy follows as well.
Sure. And
If I'm there, Ignal will go as well, yeah.
All right. The three of you go up. He goes into a meeting chamber and he starts looking around, trying to make sense of things. He sees some old tapestries and smiles and nods with some meaning behind them. And he goes over to one tapestry in particular and holds it aside. And Piercy, you get there and you help him hold it as he starts touching the big stones on the wall, and he finds one and pushes it in, and it grinds in and grates, and the whole thing sinks in a bit and swings open. Go ahead.
I just said nice.
Oh, okay. He steps in. It is a small little closet. There are some fancy-looking weapons, but you can tell they're far more ceremonial than of any actual combat value. But he does go over to a wooden box, like a jewelry box, and put his hand on it, and it kind of glows a little red, and then he opens up a simple latch, and he lifts it up and says, as I had hoped, perhaps this might be of use to all of you. And he brings over this box and has 3 little gems inside, kind of long, flat, clear, pale blue, almost clear jewels. These were used back in the day by my father in defending the realm, and this is no greater need than now. If I recall correctly, place them upon your weapon, and you will find great power behind them.
Hurdy-gurdy, King Feon, what you got there?
He hands the box over to you all and says, I wish you all well, and I will see you in 2 weeks.
Godspeed, King.
He nods.
Let's see you soon.
And give this to her ladyship. And I cut off my ponytail and I hand it to him.
All right. He takes it, looks at it and takes it.
She knows you're legit.
What do you guys want to do?
I'll assume he handed the box kind of to me, and I'll present the box to Ignal and Piercy.
I'll for sure take one of the gems.
Okay, you have a gem in your hand. It looks fancy and expensive.
Yep. Piercy grabs one as well. He doesn't really
Same
know what
for
to do with
Idrisil.
it, but
All right.
grabs one.
Idrisil will do the same and put the smaller box down, I guess, unless it is nice.
Nope, doesn't have much of a purpose now.
Yeah, I'll just set it down and hold the gem in my hand.
All right. What do you want to do?
I guess I will affix the gem to my longbow since he said weapon.
All right, you place it next to your longbow and you kind of move it around. It glows a little bright, and then the gem fades into the woodwork and becomes a permanent attachment, and you have infused some magic. In the time it takes for you to gather supplies and prepare, you are able to identify what this does with your bow. You have just attached a shock rune to your weapon. Your weapon now does an additional 1d6 points of electrical damage from now on.
Okay.
In addition, if you roll a critical hit, electricity arcs out and does the same d6 damage to up to 2 other people within 10 feet of your initial target. So you can critical hit, you can hit some bunched up people.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you to repeat that real
Here,
quick.
I'll post it in
thanks.
the chat for you.
Yeah, Piercy sees this rune just like dissolve magically into the bow.
And small little bolts of lightning
Yeah, crackle.
crackle around it.
He says,
What kind of maniac is that? What do I do with mine?
and he
Just do what he did, and I'll take out
Place
my
it-
maul.
Yeah, place it on your most trusted weapon.
Put the gem like on the handle.
Okay.
I only
you
have
do.
the one.
Yours, Iggy, fades in and has the exact same effect.
what
You only have one weapon, little guy.
Oh yeah, yes.
Or
I'm a
do you-
swashbuckler, so I just have the one.
Do you
That's
need
all I
more?
use.
There's a bunch of dead guys outside.
No, I only have the one hand for the sword fighting, and I use my other hand for the other things. So it's okay.
For other things.
You know, like swinging on the chandelier and sliding down the rope and climbing up the walls and the swashbuckling kind of things.
You're funny. At that, I'm gonna.
Is there a chandelier in this room that he's doing this on?
He's eyeing it for sure.
I'm gonna leave you two to find supplies. I'm gonna go prepare Jix and gather his things together.
Of course, friend. Take all the time you need and let me know.
We'll
need help. I will try to catch up a little bit with Piercy here. So, what part of Varen do you hail from? Can I just call you Skeet?
What?
Can I just call you Skeet?
I suppose
Skeeter?
you can call me Skeeter.
Skeeter.
That's
Oh,
fine.
God.
I'll call you Skeeter.
But
What part of Varen do you-
Percy is my name, but sure.
Skeeter's fine.
So I lived in the castle with the king many years ago. So I'm from Mearscon.
What district in Mearscon?
I lived in the castle.
Would that be Thale?
I believe so. I have to find my map.
I would assume you would know that off the top of your head.
But for many years, I've been down in the Varans because the Senate they drive us off in the coup.
I
like how you say that.
The king sent us on a mission for his banner, though it appears he also went north as we went south.
Well, yeah.
I hope they were fruitful.
We wandering around and looking for the banner and two. So here we are.
It can't be easy seeing your numbers dwindle in the face of such great terror.
Well, how you say, brave. So it's okay.
Easy. I have no doubt, good friend. How tall is this guy compared to me?
He's 3'8".
Okay, so not.
You're looking down.
Very much so. Okay. Well, would you care to join my friend and I as we say goodbye to our friend?
I don't know. I don't know what to say, but I can hold my hat on my heart, and I can look sad if you want.
I would appreciate it if you looked sad. I think Ignal would like that very much.
Very well.
And I'll head over whenever Ignal's ready.
All right, you guys are outside in the courtyard. There's still a mass of bodies of soldiers and goblins, and then the original keep garrison. Ignal, you're ignoring all of that. Couldn't give a damn about any of these people, and you are over Jix. Anything in particular you're doing?
I've wrapped his body up in a tarp or a cloth, something I found.
Okay.
And took all of his belongings and put them in my saddlebags. And else, I want to talk to Idrisil about where we put him to rest.
All right, you walk over to Idrisil, and you see there is the rat folk swashbuckler Piercy. He's standing about 15 feet away and sees you and quickly takes off his hat and quickly puts on a sad face, and you pull Idrisil aside and chat with him.
Should we? I feel like we should bury him soon. Bury him here.
I think here would be just as good a spot as any.
Say a few words and then go meet up with the others and see how they fared.
Ignal, if we're heading back to Mearscon so soon already, is there anything we should give to Mother?
Yeah, I've gone through his things. I feel like he would definitely want her to have entropy. I have a few things that we should give her. And then some stuff for the party.
Okay.
And then we'll bury him in his armor and with his weapon.
Very good. And I guess we'll go through a funeral proceedings, burying him and saying, also, I guess I can say a couple words.
Yeah, there is a private little cemetery that the lords and ladies that have been in this keep over the years have used. There is a spot available, and you guys spend some time to dig out a grave for Jix, the Goblin Alchemist. You create the grave. You then carefully lay Jix in there. Piercy is there, as is Reese, the half-orc wolf, and the king also see what you're doing, and they take time out to come over and stand quietly. And Idrisil, you had some words to share.
Jix, we gave each other a hard time. Most of the time. But in the end, you stood right next to me. I can't ask anything greater of a friend than what you gave me. And I'll shoot three arrows into the air, and now they'll sparkle with electricity.
All right.
Like fireworks.
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
Jixie, I've been thinking a lot about what to say in this moment. I was hoping I would never have to. But I guess you could say my thoughts are best summed up in the form of a limerick. There was a young goblin named Jix who always had a bag full of tricks. I want him to know that I will always protect Mother, and that I loved him like a brother, even though his head was filled with bricks. King of the Hammerheads lives. And I'll walk off.
Piercy puts his hat back on and walks away.
Idrisil will quietly ready the horses and take one last look back at the grave.
All right, let's take an early break there, and we will be back in just a little bit.
Are you talking to me? You think I'm some kind of schmuck? Ooh, I will rip your face off. In fact, the only way I'm not gonna rip your arms off and beat you with them is if you join my friends and I on Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/IngloriousBards. Be there or be limbless and faceless.
It is several days, maybe even almost a week later, outside the town of Tabernary. There is a druid, a sorcerer, and a knight riding up to the gate with a bunch of horses strung out behind them. You three are tired from hard riding. You look dusty and dirty, and you are at the gate, the Tabernary Gate, which is normally open and welcoming to anyone who comes in. However, since the last time you were there, it is now much more closed off. The gate is closed. You see there are a couple guards, and there are two brothers, not actual brothers, but two brothers who are there. Those are the priestly guys with their big hammers.
Anarian Brotherhood?
Correct. And they see you guys approach. There is a line of about 3 people that have bags over them or bushels of things they're carrying, trying to bring into town, and they're negotiating with these different guards. The two Renarian brothers are kind of staying inside the guardhouse, but looking through an open door. But the guards are there, and they're dealing with the people. They see you guys come up with horses, and they the guards push the poor peasants out of the way, and you guys ride up. The guard holds up his hand and says, hold there! What's your business?
Hello! My name is Xander. You may remember me. We are the Defenders of the Realm, and we are here to pay our respects to the Renarian Brotherhood and the town of Tabernary.
Make a diplomacy roll.
I thought you'd never ask. Gah! Unable to find the skill. What the what? Hang on. 19.
With a 19, he says, we just can't let anyone through here.
Well, we're not just anyone, my friend. We are the Defenders of Navarre.
Then I'm sure you know how things work here. And he stands in close and holds out a hand.
Xander leans down with a very knowing nod and hands 2 gold.
I thought you were going to go,
secret handshake.
How much gold did you hand over?
2.
2
One
gold.
for each of the guards.
He takes the gold and says, you can go right on through, and then stops Sildren. Hold! State your business.
No, we are the Guardians. We're the Defenders of Navarre.
He slaps your one of 3 horses and sends Xander galloping into the town.
We are Defenders of Navarre, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And
you know how this works.
And I will hand him 2 gold.
All right. You ride in. He nods. He lets you go through. He sees Sir Brenros approach and says, come on through, knight. And you come right on through.
Hey!
Has its privileges. And then I
You
swing
guys,
it.
you guys enter the town. It is still as quiet and watched over as you remember. You see a pair of Renarian brothers walking a patrol in the streets. There's not nearly as much activity as you remember Tavernary having. You find a stable for your horses and recognize some of the horses that are also stabled there. You go over to Peg's Tavern, open the door, step inside. The place is almost completely empty, except for Peg behind the bar. And then above him is a balcony area with a couple tables. And at your table, you see your friends are there waiting for you.
Yay!
Welcome!
So looks over the balcony and hears that yell.
Peg welcomes you in.
One round of spicy oats, please!
Of course, you look thirsty. Good to see you again.
And you! Ooh, I am thirsty.
He slops some oatmeal out, some spicy oatmeal, gets you guys some ales, and says, how fares life for you? What have you been up to since I've last seen you? Brenrose!
Hello. Something. I'm tired.
Is everything all right, Brenrose? It's me, your long-lost friend, Norwegian.
I need a long brush. A day to bathe.
Peg, we went to Thave! I've never been to Thave. It was so sandy. I think I still have some in my hair.
You shuffle out a bunch of... Hey, outside.
That's lice, not sand.
It was the craziest thing. They worship spiders down there. Oh, that reminds me. Where's Iggy? Is he here?
I'm here.
They're all up, so you look and you see your friends are up above.
We're like hanging upside down now, like the balcony.
Grab us some extra drinks, and we need to have a sit down, friends.
Sounds great. Xander whips around right to Peg real fast and says, I will take as many as I can carry. One.
Xander grabs one. They come in pints, and you guys grab some drinks. You grab some bowls of spicy oatmeal, and you take the stairs up above, and you see that there is a new friend there, a Yosoki, also known as Ratfolk. Fellow with a nice sharp-looking hat. You can see he appears to be welcomed by Iggy and Idrisil. You also notice Jix has not arrived yet, and you take a seat at the table with Iggy looking a little odd.
Did you find your banner?
I will rise to greet Brenrose and give him the clasp as usual. We've found our banner. We found the king.
Yeah! Wow!
And
It's good news.
also,
Where's Jix?
and I can't find the words quite yet.
We found those things, but we did lose poor Jix.
What do you mean you lost him? I mean, he can't be that far.
He fell in battle. He died.
Fell where?
He's dead, Xander. He died bravely, but he's now in the ground.
What?
Xana, do you remember when Killian stepped into the fire to save you?
Yes?
Sometimes the brave choice isn't the easy choice. Jix was never a fighter. He always fought dirty when he could, or from a distance. But he stood right next to Iggy and I, against a man twice his size, and gave his last breath for us.
No! No, it's a trick!
I'll put my hand on his shoulder, which is like way bigger than it should be.
No, he fought giants! Idrisil! He's been able to take down wolves, and he's been able to run out from...
Xander.
No! No!
Sildren
Yes.
comes up and puts his hand on Xander's other shoulder.
You're not joking.
I would never joke. Not about that.
Jake's made a lot of jokes, but with him gone, I haven't the heart.
I brought him back an eye!
On the same note, we have words from the king, and with that, a new friend. I'll present Piercy. I hate saying this, but Von Skeetenlever. And I'll present him.
Piercy nods and
This is
lifts
one
up
of the
his drink.
king's.
Skull.
This is one of the king's most trusted men. We've sent the king away on a mission. We plan to meet him back at the Nexus.
Where's Jix now?
We buried him where he fell.
We buried him with honor.
Xander,
Xander's all teared up.
Xander falls and sobs.
Yeah, Idrisil will stand
Yeah.
up to his tallest height. The king of the Hammerheads. Long
King
may
of-
he reign.
King of the Hammerheads.
King of the
And
Hammerheads.
Iggy will scooch his chair next to Xander and like put him in a big old bear hug. They'll just sob together.
Sildren walks over to Piercy.
Justo quietly leaves the table, realizing this isn't the right time.
Jingle, jingle.
Wait, you mean for once he has good timing?
Damn it, if only I knew for release.
And Sildren extends his hand to Piercy, and I'm Sildren.
Nice to meet you. I'm Percy von Skeetenlever.
Happy to meet your acquaintance, Piercy.
I'm sure.
I wish it were under better circumstances.
So sorry about your friend there. I didn't know him, but sounds like he was a good little goblin.
Indeed. He will be missed.
What of your chalice? How did you fare on your mission? Better than us, I can see.
Seems such a small thing under the circumstances.
Any accomplishment is no small thing in a time like this.
Very well. The last chalice was destroyed. It was destroyed, and with it, some new information has come to light. Something has made itself known, something calling itself Skodrenar. It is returning.
Like the Tower of Skorjanar, just north of here.
This comes to be found at the ruins of a city, buried in the sand, far to the south, and presently being excavated. For its purpose, I can only assume, is to bring more relics forward for this Skodrenar. But again, all of this seems to pale a bit.
Well, a darker stain on the kingdom there doesn't muddy it anymore to me. I see it as our mission now to head back to Mearscon again. I've sent a note with the king to meet us there in about a week and a half's time. To meet just inside of Ableton's boarding house. He asked me to bring Yandamore, though I did not confirm I could do that. I told him I could do my utmost. I thought counseling with you all would be a better move on that part. Before we include more people into, especially you, Xander, as you are the holder and keeper of the Nexus.
That's right. That's right, I am.
This evening is met with some darkness, and I do appreciate the company that you keep here with this Piercy, you said? Well,
Who is that? Tanner suddenly sees Piercy for the first time and starts pointing at him.
This is a friend of ours, Xander. His name is Piercy.
Yes.
Howdy-ho.
Let us speak no more sadness and remind ourselves of our friend Jix. And I'll tell a story about
Jix the Jix.
the
Yes, the
Jix.
Jix.
To Jix of House Stummerall, son of mother and pops. Definitely of honor in Mearscon, and the best of all of us. No offense, Sir Brenrose.
Here.
It's an hour later. Do you guys remember when he jumped off the cliff and he said, "Bombs away, bitches"?
Which time? He said that kind of like every single time. I remember that one time that he held a little horse. He called it little entropy, and he loved it so much.
Entropy!
Brenrose is watching with detachment, just like Christopher is. Like, what the hell?
Percy!
Time to stop sniffing glue.
It was this one time when Jix and I first got to know each other. We had to fight a giant worm, but no one believed us. No, they had to go see the farmers. But Jix and I, we knew if we snuck in to the farmer's house, we could detect magic, and he came right with me to do it.
How
And-
big of a farm was it?
No, it was at least bigger than this.
Bottom
I could reach as
bottom
far-
hill, on top of a hill, it's bottom hill.
We had to fight a worm, and he burned it. We burned it up. He was great. He was really good.
Well, it sounds like a good little yablin.
He had some downsides.
It's starting to get a little real.
Out of his pocket.
He would pick up the ugliest things. He would put so much horrible things in his mouth, and he was so happy with it. It was gross. It was the absolute. I don't feel good.
Idrisil is drunkenly showing Sildren his new, lightning mark etchings in wood, on his bow. Just look, the king gave me a new rune. Can you feel the magic? Can you smell the magic? Here, smell my bow.
Yes, I can smell it. Thank you. It smells malodorous. It's actually, that might be you. I'm afraid you need a shower, my friend.
Oh, I could use a shower. I still have sand in places that you're not supposed to have sand.
What places?
I got sand here. And I got sand right here. I got sand right. It's in my pants.
Idrisil will go downstairs to the bar to grab another round.
Okay.
You said that Jix died in battle,
Yes.
and he was at the front and not behind?
He was. It was a captain of a Navaran soldier captain who killed him. The Navaran soldiers captured us at the keep, put us in chains, and when we thought all was lost, the king and his men rode in and saved
Right.
us.
Was Jix in chains when he was slain?
He was.
I don't think he was actually.
And you never, well, I don't think he ever let himself out.
Oh no, he let Iggy on. That's right. Sorry.
So bound at the front, facing death.
Was unusually brave in this moment.
I could think of no better way to die. That is bravery that is told in stories.
I feel the same, and I hope his stories live on much longer than the rest of us.
Stories! Oh no, stories! We didn't tell you! You guys, Scourgeonar is back. We found another temple. They had the star,
We've heard this story, Xander.
No, you haven't. There's another one. There's two. There's the one here, and there's another one down there, and there might be more. We gotta stop it. If we don't stop it, everything goes dark. Everything goes dark.
We will stop it, Xander, in time.
No, right now. You don't understand. We're out of time. This is what Jix would want.
Is there a sleep spell?
Yes, it's called pommel of your sword.
Or 2 more ales.
Brenros would like to be spending, after these gatherings are part of the remainder of the evening, in contemplation and prayer with Celine over Jix.
I have secured us some rooms at our inn. When we would like to retire, and then before we take off in the morning, I would like to have a moment with all of you.
I have an idea. You guys, I'm getting sleepy. I have an idea. The brothers can fight Scourgeonar. The brothers can fight the undead. The brothers.
And Xander collapses.
I'm going to take this little one back to the inn and put him to rest. Put him in bed. Tuck him in.
You're just still talking to Peg for the duration of that conversation. We'll just say at the end, have you seen Vanaling recently?
Yeah, a few days ago. She's doing well.
Next
Should I
time
tell her you've asked about her?
Do that.
That I shall.
Do that.
It is getting towards nighttime, and unfortunately, there's still a curfew set up by the Brotherhood, so I'm going to have to close soon.
I'll make no more bother, and I will help carry anybody that needs to be carried, along with myself.
On the way out, Sildren will actually tap Iggy on the shoulder, casting Ant Haul, which allows him to carry 3 more bulk for 8 hours, handling Xander easily enough.
All right.
Yep, because Xander's 24 pounds. We're weighing him down.
All right, you guys retire for the evening at an inn. There is a curfew, and you can hear a bell clanging that marks the curfew time at night, but the Brotherhood watches over. You guys stay at the Fall Feather Inn and sleep for the night. You get a good night's rest. We've already rested you within the fantasy grounds, so you got all your spells and all your hit points back. It is the next morning. You guys are gathered at the inn, the downstairs area, gathering all your stuff, getting ready to head out, and Iggy has you together to share something.
I have some of Jix's belongings that I think he as a group would like us to have. So and I hand out a bag of coins to each person, including Piercy. They each have 73 gold and 5 silver in them.
Oh, nice.
On the table in front of us, I put a skeleton key, a Meyer pin, an elixir of life, an oil of weightlessness, a salve of anti-paralysis, and an antidote, a moderate antidote potion.
If this was a normal group, I would totally imagine Jix grabbing all of that quickly.
And
hiding
Wasn't there
it,
a scene in Dark Crystal when the Skeksis all just like came in and like vultured all that shit up?
My goodness, I've never seen so many golds.
You are part of our journey now, friend. Friend, are we close enough to call you friend? But you deserve this, I think.
Thank you. I'm not used to the dwarves being so kindly to the Soki. They only steal in our Varan tunnels and all.
I have no ill will against you.
You'll find, Piercy, right? You'll find that we tend to use our gold influentially and generously. So it only makes sense if you're going to travel with the defenders as one of us that you have approximate amounts that we have, because you're going to have to spend it.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, I'm just used to the king just taking care of me. But I can buy my own things with the gold.
But there is an initiation. Spanking machine. Assemble!
Piercy, what are your hit points, for lack of a better term?
Meta game.
Are you strong or are you weak?
Xander, before complaining to everybody's like, I want the healing potion. I've never been able to help somebody other than keep them alive. Sildren was falling apart in my arms and I couldn't do anything for him, and I want a healing potion.
It's right. It's all yours, friend.
That's why I was asking, by the way.
I have it.
What those rat folk have for if they're good or bad. If no one else minds, Idrisil will grab the skeleton key and affix it to the thieves' tools that Jix gave him.
All right. Do you have thievery, by the way? Trained at all?
I am trained in thievery.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, you're plus 13. You're sitting pretty. You're very dexterous. What about the rest of the stuff?
And a little willowy.
So what? I'm sorry. What all is there? What did you take, Xander?
I wanted the healing potion.
There's an antidote and
oil of weightlessness, anti-paralysis, antidote, and then Jix will slide the Meyer pin over to Piercy.
Who does?
Jix gives Piercy the Meyer pin, saying
You keep saying
Iggy does. There is no Jix.
Shit.
Too soon, Iggy.
This was our friend Jix's. Pin it under your collar, and it might come in handy someday.
What does it do?
You'll see. You'll know when it happens.
That's not threatening.
Enjoy.
It will let you. It will unlock a magical place for
It detects dragons. If it ever goes off, run as fast as you can.
Doesn't matter the direction, just run.
So, Xander, you're taking the elixir of life?
Yes.
Okay.
What does the oil of weightlessness do?
You gotta catch it.
Make something light.
I think Brenrose should have that.
Nearly weightless.
Well, Brenrose has already got some trinkets from Jix, so this you all is probably for the better.
Could I also take the antidote?
Yeah.
Does anyone else want that?
It's yours.
Want to stack up too much?
Can I make a survivor roll and get some of his teeth?
of Jix's teeth?
Jix's teeth?
You could
That's
not.
like totally my gig, man.
We're not mafia. We didn't fuck his teeth.
Yeah.
Little shrunken Jix voodoo doll head.
Yeah. What are you gonna do with them anyways? You get them confused with like little kernels of corn.
They're poisonous.
Chick's always had a piece of everyone else. I figured we should have a piece of him. So there you go.
Are these in the party sheet, or do we just?
Oh, they can be. I have this here. Hold on. Party sheet going to inventory. What do I need to drop in there?
I believe it's going to be the Meyer Pin, Elixir of Life Lesser. Or
Hold on. Whoa, way too fast. Way too fast.
Slow, yo,
Meyer Pin's in there. What's next?
Skeleton Key,
Skeleton key is there. Next.
Elixir of Life Lesser,
Elixir of life, permanent elixir of life there.
Oil of Weightlessness,
Oil of weightlessness. Good.
2 times Salve of Anti-Paralysis,
Salve anti-paralysis is 2.
and Antidote Moderate.
Antidote moderate potion is good to go. There you go.
I'm gonna, if there's no objections, I will take the Anti-Paralysis and the Antidote.
I thought I was going to take the antidote.
Okay, take the Antidote then.
Fight for it.
Percy, did you just steal my elixir? You rat fake Yolski! I'm gonna punch you in the face with that! I'm gonna pull your goddamn ears!
It didn't take long for the racism to start.
I'm hungover. There you go.
Thank you.
Sildren, take both those anti-paralysis, the salve of anti-paralysis.
Seriously though, what is the thing of weightlessness? What exactly does that do?
You can spread the oil on an item of 1 bulk or less to make it feel weightless.
Oh, okay.
It's almost word for word the description in the actual thing.
Oh,
Settle
that's
down.
crazy.
Settle down.
I wonder
Settle
how I'll take that in case, unless anybody else.
No,
needs
I'm
it.
fine.
All right, is that it?
Yep.
Okay, what's your plan? I have no idea what you're doing or where you're going.
I don't think we do either.
Xander did one thing. He's actually gonna head down out of the room, take the freaking ugly eye from the river drake, and bury it, kind of as his own parting way to
Nice.
say goodbye to Jix.
Okay, all right.
I would like to go back to Mearscon sooner rather than later to let his parents know of his fate, of Jix's fate.
It seems we have to meet the king back there soon,
Yes,
as he
that
is
as well.
returning.
There are a great many reasons to return to Mearscon.
There's also a few not to. If I can remind you, there is 1 house, let alone 2, possibly even 3, that are looking for some of your heads.
Yours is
Not as-
included, Brenros.
It's true. It's not a simple thing to just go back with business unattended like it is.
Brenrose, now that you're done with the chalices, will you stay with us, or do you need to head back to Calavier?
I can notify the queen and await word, but I would stay with you.
Yay!
Anything honoring the memory of Jix would be just as important.
Oh! I don't know if I told you this. I had the greatest idea while we were drinking, but it's a really scary one, but I need your opinions on it. Okay,
We
here's
already
what's
know
happening.
about Skordrunar.
You do?
Yes.
Did I say so?
This will be the 3rd time.
Okay, I don't remember that part, but listen to this one. It's closer. This whole place is already completely infected with brothers, right? The Renari Brotherhood. But we know that they've got some sort of holy power in there. That's how their hammers work so strong. They've got something in their temple in there. I bet that if we could find a way, just like we did in Mearscon, to put the Brotherhood against the Scourgenars, they might be able to fight the undead and maybe, without knowing it, help us to stop the darkness from coming. You guys, it's darkness.
Xander, what makes you think the Brotherhood would help anyone besides themselves?
The Brotherhood worship the light. If we tell them about the undead and the darkness coming from Scourgeonar, I would bet you that they, if they don't already know about it, are already sworn in some way or another to fight against it. Huh?
The idea does have merits. It is.
How would we pull off such a scheme, Xana?
Well, I don't know if it needs to be a scheme so much as far as letting them know exactly what's happening. There was that book. Do you remember the mayor? The scribe and the mayor had a book that told us that's how we got into the tower in the first place. There's a chance that we might be able to speak to one of them, or even one of the bigger ones, and let them know that they are coming up against some bad stuff.
If you give them tale of your recent encounters with Scourgeonar, perhaps they may listen.
I also thought they were not too kind to Ignal and Chicks at the time.
Oh, they're awful.
They were not. Do you remember what they did to Jix?
I do. I'm not saying they're good guys. They're the worst. But I would love to put some bad guys against some other bad guys and have them help the fight.
How do we proceed?
Okay, here's my idea. I think that what we should do is we should go and find any sort of documents. We should go back to the journals. We knew that there was something down there. We should find the information. We should go back to the crypt. Scourgeonar came out of Tabernary. Did you know that? Did you remember that? He had a grave at the south end of town by the gates where the giant skeleton came in. That was Scourgeonar that they pulled out of there, I think. Or at least some sort of amulet that brought him back. We could find some information down there. We could do a little bit of magic, maybe some searching, and then we bring the information to the Brotherhood and let them know this is what has to happen. We let them know that darkness is coming, and we tell them that we think that they are the ones that can take care of it because they are the Renarian Brotherhood, defenders of the light.
It almost sounds, Xander, like you went to side with the Brotherhood.
I want them to think that we're siding with them. If they all get taken out, that's great. But one way or another, the darkness sounds like it's coming, and it's getting worse. I'm afraid that there actually may be more towers of Scourgeonar.
That is what...
Go ahead.
That is what you said last night. That is what Brenrose said last night.
I did? Oh, good for me.
We we have agreed to meet the king, and we must get him back, hopefully in power. And then we must deal with these towers and with the return of Scourgeonar. The Brotherhood may be able to indirectly aid us if we can carry that plan out. But it seems we need to go to Mearscon, and then we need to reset our video.
And we are not back.
No, because we still are missing
There
Sir
we go.
Brenrose.
We're good now. We're good.
Okay.
All right, carry on.
On the way, let us discuss Scourgeonar and what we must do there. But it's although Xander, your idea of going to the crypt and getting more information once Origin again is good.
Yay! I got one.
Ignal, what was the tournament mentioned that's happening in Mearscon?
That too. There has been so much I forgot about it, but the next fall sun celebration, there is a competition of commoners law in Mearscon.
I believe that was happening quite soon, is it not? If so, that could give us an opportune distraction within the city's walls to place the king where he needs to be.
That, and if we're crafty enough, we could create a law that could help us. I don't know how far that would go, but...
It could help us, it could help others, more importantly. Though I would not know what to say.
But that sounds really soon. When's that happening?
It must be within these next few weeks. Is there any sign of this? Any talk of the tournament in Mearscon?
Absolutely. There are at Peg's Tavern at the Oak Post board. There were written posts on there that talk about the competition and all the fun and the celebration happening in Mearscon soon, with an emphasis on a big horse riding competition, a staff battling competition, an archery competition. And who is from Iggy? You've been to Mearscon. Piercy, you've seen the celebration or heard of it. You've never been to one because the Senate has had no interest in working with the people since they've been in power. But you've heard about it before, and it's just a really fun way for the citizens of the city to unwind, and tends to bring in some outsiders from the surrounding towns as well.
I heard of this from my father. Celebration, and it's a good time for everyone. But I never have been. But I'm excited to see it. So let's go.
Whoa, hang on. If this is put on by the Senate, then it's clearly not what it seems like it is. We haven't seen them do one thing for just any good sake. There's always a reason.
They're probably doing it for a distraction, to rile the people up in excitement rather than them trying to revolt.
That will bring a lot of people into the city and may allow the king to sneak in more easily during that tournament.
And us.
Because we are not their loved.
We are wanted men there, but could we disguise ourselves to enter the competition?
To what ends?
I picture myself entering the competition as the red herring to the rest of you following the plan that we will at some point make.
So, did you have a plan, or do you just want to?
I am getting us as far into this as I can.
I would say
I got him to the Nexus. I got him to here. Do I have a plan?
I would say one thing. You needn't be careful with the senators. They often are dubious. They killed my father many years ago, and they may have some evil plans as well for this what you call it, the Commoners' Day.
Wait, did you say the Nexus?
What?
Not you, Idrisil.
I did say the Nexus.
we could go back. What about Jix's key?
It is.
Iggy!
I have it, but if you recall, I don't think it is. Once the carrier dies, it does not.
It's
does
keyed
not
to
work
the
anymore.
individual only.
Right.
It will not function for anyone else.
The key was never located. You searched him very close and could not find that key.
That bastard ate it.
Xana, you're capable of creating more.
I know that. I just want to make sure that our nexus is safe. If I recall from the tomes, it may have gone with him.
It is safe.
Be sure, Xana, that I spoke nothing of actual mention of the Nexus. I told Theon we have a plan and a safe place to hide him. I did not tell him where the Nexus is.
Ixnay on the Exisnay around the at-ray.
So yeah, Idrisil's plan, as far as this plan is concerned, is to enter the competition as one means of distraction to carry out whatever plans we do have.
Well, here in Tabernary still, we were going to go to the temple. Yep. No.
The crypt, not the temple of the Brotherhood yet. Yeah, we should go explore the crypt.
Let us be on our way then. Well, let's see this out.
Okay, where are you guys headed?
Xander wants to lead them south, so to the south of Tabernary to go to the crypt.
Man, I gotta get my Tabernary map out.
And in the temple where there was the undead breaking out a coffin. They grabbed a gem, and then when Xander attempted to fireball all of them, he got them all except one, who apparently teleported out of there with whatever it is that they were looking for. We found out that it was I believe we remember it was the grave of Scoriel? Nope, hang on.
Scourgeonar?
It's the reason why this whole quest line isn't wrapped up.
Right? We never finished it, and dang it! We should have just followed. Hang on. That was a lot there. That was all the things.
And let me know if you can't hear.
Antiel. It was No, it's not.
Well,
No, it wasn't.
My internet's looking a little dodgy right now.
Do. Scoriel Guide 3. Sorry, guys. I'm scanning a whole bunch of notes. But we want to go to the crypt. That's where we're going.
Okay,
All right.
You guys head to the south of Tabernary. There is the southeast gate where you did battle with a bunch of skeletons, including a giant skeleton. And there is a temple that is located there that has some iron bars in front of it that some of the skeletons were racing to. You guys are going down some steps down to this temple. It's like an old church that hasn't been used in a long time.
Yep, you're still there.
There's a big iron gate in front of it.
You're there.
Yep.
Did you hear me? Anything I just said?
Yeah,
we heard you say Iron Gate.
Skeletons.
Heard Encray and Flying Disc.
All right, let me try changing internet here. Hold on one second. Let's see if this works.
Okay. You guys, it was Jalkaban of the Scourgeonar Guild.
Where did you go?
Guild?
Yeah.
This is new information for me. All right.
Yeah, as you left. This is something that we found out with Reese from the Wolves when we met him, but there was a whole bunch of undead attacking, and if you look right over here inside the temple, there was a grave that read Jalkaban, lower artisan of the Iron Water Fort, member of the Scourgeonar Guild, father of Jen the Seer, friend to all. But there was something inside his crypt that wasn't just with him. It was a blue, glowing, magical form of some sort. And that's where we went. And if I recall, we asked around a little bit, and even Peg was able to give us a couple of pieces of information. The only thing we really found out was that Scourgeonar symbol was the sword piercing the star. But other than that, we weren't able to find very much. I'm hoping we can find more today.
You guys are outside that church, and there's the iron gate that's blocking you from getting inside.
Motion to Alistair. He has a skeleton key.
Xander mimics Sildren with the waving forward.
Hello. I will. Is there a lock on it?
There is. It is locked.
Okay. I thought it was just like a big iron.
We all just motion to him, and he just walks up and pushes it open.
I'm like, which key is it? Let's see. No. Okay, yeah, I will go ahead and activate I'll use my skeleton key.
Okay, it gives you a +1 to pick the lock, or I believe once a day it can cast the knock spell, which gives you a bigger bonus. +4 bonus.
Okay.
Want to go big?
Big.
I'll go big on the first one.
All right, make you say the magic word into the skeleton key. What is the magic word for the skeleton key?
Please,
oh please, oh please, oh please, oh please.
All right, it has to be said like 4 times, and you insert the key. It triggers a little spark of magic. You need to make a thievery roll and add +4 as you're using the full power of the skeleton key for the day.
Please, oh please, oh please, oh please. With a 20 +4?
Yes.
25.
With a 25, you feel a click. The lock opens. You pull the skeleton key out, and you're able to push the squeaky iron gate over. You guys step inside this crypt. You have been in here, some of you, once before. It has little nooks and alcoves and crannies and coffins set aside, and you start looking through, passing by some cobwebs, some dusty floors. This is not a place that has been visited often. The last time was probably the last time you were here several months ago or weeks ago, depending on how long it was, and before that was probably years ago. And you, Xander, you were able to go to the last spot where you saw skeletons working some sort of magic, and you have arrived at a little coffin that says Jal Caban, lower artisan of the Ironwater Fort, member of the Scourgeonar Guild, father of Jen the Seer, and friend to all.
This is it! Right here!
So what's your plan, Xander? What are you hoping to find?
Well, if they buried a member of the Guild of Scourgeonar in this temple with some sort of magic relic, then there must be some sort of significance to that. Let's look around and see what kind of temple this is, and if we can find other members of the guild, and perhaps some information about where Scourgeonar comes from.
Percy puts his hand on the hilt of his sword, just kind of ready as he walks around and searches around and sniffs around the chamber.
Okay.
Xander will start by detecting magic. See if there's anything else he can find in here.
All right.
Yeah. I'll do the same for that magic.
Xander, you detect magic. And it is and you start zeroing in on where that magic is located and find it is another coffin, this one unmarked, that is not too far away from where you're at before.
Is there a way for Brenrose to tell if this area has been sanctified?
Make a religion roll, Brenrose.
Religion. All right, technical difficulties. A 30.
Whoa, jeez.
With a 30, you are able to identify this place has been consecrated and is safe from nefarious dark magic, except for some damage you can even detect as you lay your hands on the ground. Some recent damage within the last few months you can sense that has been done around the Jal Kaban coffin, which lines up with what Xander's been talking about in their last encounter here.
The rest of this temple appears to be sanctified ground, undisturbed. The only damage is here. I worry about disrupting the rest of others. And then Brenrose just steps back.
What information did Xander glean other than finding the magic location? I can cast it at 4th level now, so it's a little higher up.
Yeah, you know that it is a transmutation effect, and you're standing before this coffin. You only need to tell me if you want to defile it.
Yeah, so, you guys, I found something! And Xander defiles the coffin.
All right.
Yeah.
Zip. And Xander instantly defiles the coffin by going, ah! And you can't seem to lift this stone lid of the coffin free.
You know me. I can't lift it. If only we had like a potion of weightlessness or something, it would make life so much better right now.
What are you trying to do? You trying to break this coffin open?
We need to get in.
Why do we need to get in?
There's magic in here.
What?
Not all magic.
He goes nuts with Cracker Jack's box. There's a prize in here.
Xander, you take 1 point of damage, by the way.
Ooh, ouch.
Xander, not all magic should be unearthed.
This one should.
Why we needing the magic?
There's a transmutation change inside this thing. Remember that coffin right there. That had the obvious stone that had to cause the undead skeletons to come in here to steal it. They broke that, and they cursed this ground. Brenrose, you just proved it. This could be another link.
We are here for information, and there seems to be potentially some within this coffin.
I'll help you, Xander, but if this fucks us over,
It's on you.
Have I ever let you
some
down?
trouble.
There's an episode name.
Real quick, hang on. Is there a name on this one, real quick? I didn't even check.
There is no name.
Unmarked.
Great. Okay, let's go.
Ignol will try to lift the lid.
It opens up very easily, and inside is a
You loosened it up for him.
The skeleton looks all dusty or cobwebby, and has a sword wrapped around its hands, an old rusty sword. And you look around Xander and are able to find a rotten leather bag, and you pull out a metal piece from there, and it looks to be some strange ornaments, something along those lines, and it is a series of 4 wire mesh cubes in a 4x4 pattern that's kind of like cubes with cubes that go up in a kind of a diagonal shape. So it's a row of cubes with a row of cubes, row of cubes, and they kind of move, and you can kind of click them down into a straight flat shape or move some down, some down. You can just create strange, unusual shapes with it. And you're not sure what its function is, but this is absolutely the item you detected. And Iggy being right there, you also see there is a scroll case that is tucked just under the skeleton as well.
I'll take the scroll case and open it.
All right, you open it up. It hasn't been open in a very long time.
You must not read from the book.
He's the only word he's ever been able to read. Necronomicon.
This word starts with CTH. I don't know what this is.
How do you pronounce that? You see, it is a message Written in a language you don't know. Common. A language you don't know.
Xander, little guy.
Yeah.
My eyeballs are hurting a little right now. You want to read this?
Xander will take the scroll to read it. He will also stash away the cubes for now.
Okay. Xander, you take a look. This is written in the Chaloran language, a race from several eras ago, and you do not know this language. You can just identify how it's aligned. You can tell that it is of that language, but you can't make heads or tails of it.
I don't know, but it looks important. Let's just find out.
Turn the lid to the coffin, as it were, and be on our way. This seems to be all we can glean here.
Oh, Roger. And I'll put the lid back on and make it as pretty as I can.
Okay, you put it back, and you guys head out of this crypt and are back into sunshine.
Sildren will have said a little prayer to Keth for the person that we took the items from, and asking for, I guess, forgiveness for doing that.
Okay.
For taking his shit.
Or just bragging about it. Keth got another one. Amen. On their way out, Xander would like to make a perception check just through the crypt real quick to see if he can see any symbols of Scourgeonar or anything else that would match a Guild of Scourgeonar title or anything like that.
You don't see anything at all like that.
Okay.
Who is the Scourgeonar?
Yeah, that's the question. That's the one that we don't have an answer for right now. But I will tell you that so far, all the followers of Scourgeonar are undead. Or at least try to be, and it's not okay.
It must be very tiring to be undead.
He seems to be a creature, probably an undead creature that was perhaps worshipped. And there are those that seem to want to bring him back. In fact, allow me to read something to you.
Back from where?
Back from the dead.
So he's a dead, but he wants to be undead.
That he is undead, but perhaps trapped somewhere. And hold on, let me find something.
You know,
we have found a message in a tower that allow me to read this. Bring yourself down this path we leave behind for those of noble spirit. In this path we hide from those with dark intentions. The fallen hero, Scourgeonar, cannot be allowed to return, or he will lay waste to everything he sees. Only close adherence to these steps will prevent the destruction of Varen. He was stopped once before, and if you are seeking out these words, then you must stop him once again. Your final trek begins at his resting place, the grand city that looks out over the Bay of Five Sins. And of everything we have learned of this creature, he is would be the ruin of Varen shall he return. Which is why, although the king returning is of great import, dealing with this Scourgeonar, I believe, is of paramount importance. And as soon as we are able, we must turn our attention and our effort to defeating this entity.
You know, my younger brother, Nathan, he was trapped once. He had to bite off his own tail. Now we call him Stubby.
Where is Stubby?
Tragic.
Oh, he's back in the barn, under the castle. I think. I don't know. I've not been back to Mearscon for a while now.
great story. Let's go.
Tanner, you're so dismissive of other people's stories.
It was
you
a
could
little
tell a
weird,
story
I have
better.
to admit.
Tell you what, Piercy, I'll teach you how to tell some stories, and then it will make them more fun.
Oh, we don't need two of you.
And you teach me how to be lame. We'll share. You guys were heading somewhere?
To Mearscon, I believe.
I think that's next.
Okay.
Unless you want to go to the Tower of Scorchidar.
That is on the way.
After
Is it not?
No.
It's not far at all. The tower is next to, not far from Tavern Reno.
Yeah, it's only like 2 hours north. It's just not.
I think Iggy might have some reservations. He had quite a bit of watery, nightmarish trouble there before.
a little bit.
Wasn't there the tower when we were on the barge?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
the one we went back to.
the one that we went into, the one that Iggy
Fought all
found.
the fucking zombies.
Yeah, isn't that between? Okay.
It's close. It's not far at all.
Do you remember how many of them there were crawling up out of the ground? My ray of frost did nothing.
This sounds new to me.
Yeah, you weren't there.
Place full of undead. Sounds
Full of them.
that would be a place I would want to be.
That's one for me. Who else is coming with us?
He splits again.
We do have to be back in Mearscon fairly soon.
I must ask, do we have time for this?
Stop stealing my lines.
I don't know if I get a vote, but
The what?
a vote,
The what?
a vote.
I don't know what that is.
He's saying
Yes or
vote.
no? A vote, a vote, a vote,
A note?
a vote. Yes
A
or
vote.
no?
A boat?
Anyway,
A goat?
He says anyway perfectly, but
Seriously, I have no idea what it's about.
the King Phaon, he told me to go with you all, so wherever you go, I go.
I don't know what he said. Let's go to
I was about to start
Mearscon.
singing the song. I'm not gonna do it.
Okay, you guys are heading to Mearscon. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Let's do it.
You guys get aboard your horses and ride off west along the river and make your way towards the city of Mearscon. It's a couple days ride. It is uneventful, and you arrive at the city. You see the grand city of Mearscon, the largest city in Navarre, from quite some distance away, and it is that three-tiered plateau. You approach from essentially what is the east side of the city. Let me drop a map of it into our video here.
I'm a little sad. I was just thinking that we needed to give a couple of our party some sneaky Steves.
We can do that on the way.
But there are no sneaky Steves.
No
to
more
be
sneaky
given out.
Steves.
Oh yeah, my potion's all ran out.
What was I going to say? There we go. And you see the tiered plateaus of Mearscon. You approach from the bottom southwest section, and there is quite a bit of traffic coming in. There are quite a few people. You chat with them along the way, and they are all coming in for the festival that is going to be held soon within the city. You make your way on the southwest district, whose name is totally
Scalies.
Scalies. Thank you. I thought it would start with an S. The Scalies district. This is normally a trade caravan thing. Someone, maybe the less welcomed races, might be have some homes out here. The lizard man types.
Tom, is it possible for us to have attached ourselves to a caravan in some way before coming in? So we're caravan types versus random dangerous adventurers.
Yeah, we can say that totally happened. The net result is your caravan has entered the Scalies district and has had to argue and fight the caravan master to find some space, what little is left, to unload their goods. He pays each of you guys 1 gold for your guard services over those few days.
Sweet.
Good job, Xander.
I'll take it.
And you guys help them get all set up, and then you say your goodbyes. And are you doing anything out of the ordinary? Because your goal now is you've got to pass through the big bridge and cross over into the city itself, into the Long Pier district on the southwest part of the city.
Split up in pairs and meet back at the Nexus.
Iggy, do you have the ring? Jix's ring, the ring of House Summerall. That's how he got us in last time.
I buried it with his body.
Okay. Yep, good. Okay. I bet his mother wouldn't have wanted that back at all. It's fine.
It wasn't in the list, okay?
Rather had her son back.
Oh.
Jesus.
All right, you guys break into pairs and do a little staggered approach to the bridge. There are some city guards and a few Navaran soldiers who are a little more imposing.
I would like to be with Iggy if possible.
I think everyone would want to be, but yeah.
It's true.
Women want to be with him. Men
He
want
is
to
the
be him.
sexiest.
Hold on. As we're getting closer to the gates, Piercy is getting a little bit nervous. So yo, and he's looking down at his tablet, which is a giant signet of the wolf.
Oh,
I told him at the beginning of the episode to take off all the wolf shit.
That's all he has.
I would say maybe you acquired something in
Yeah, we
tabletry,
didn't say that
perhaps.
you put on the Navaran armor. That wasn't part of our thing.
No, Piercy doesn't wear armor.
Also,
Well,
he's
you're not getting into the
a rat
city
folk.
then.
What?
Yeah, I was just also say he's a rat folk. Not
Yeah,
really
come
fitting
in-
Navaran armor.
I guess coming through the sewers, I suppose.
That's not what I was going with, but cool. Good on you.
Is there a way that that Piercy can subterfuge and enter the city a different way than through the main gate?
You got to tell me, what's your plan?
Well, being that he knows the Warrens under the city fairly well, he's going to look for like sewer opening that he is familiar with or something of the sort.
All right, with a bow and a wave, Piercy von Skeedenlever disappears down a grate, closing it behind him, and instantly knows where he is off to. He has been through these sewers many times and is scurrying away.
Can we, before he leaves, tell him where to meet us?
I see you there, yeah.
His snout says through the little grate.
Did we follow? That seemed really easy. Dang it.
Xander, you could. You were of the size that could fit in there, but no one else could.
Yeah. Xander's gonna follow.
All right. Xander dives down, diplomat, heavy speaker for the group. Xander leaves them all behind and jumps down a sewer. You land with a splash and startle Piercy, who was just ready to scurry down. It smells awful. It's tight. It's narrow. You're going to crawl through a river of shit to come out clean on the other side of the line. Can't quite remember the Shawshank Redemption line.
That sounded right.
And
I'll get busy dying.
it's hard to see, but you guys both have low light vision, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So you're able to see some shafts of light of the next opening up ahead. And Xander, you're trying to desperately keep up as Piercy is able to go on all fours and just scurry really quick and leap over some gunk here and leap over here, and he's staying very dry, and you're just splashing through trying to keep up with him.
Xander's gonna fly.
Oh, even better.
Piercy is expert in nimble crawl, so he is
Yeah, you just try to get away.
All right, Xander lights up some flame jets and catches up to you. I need Piercy to make a reflex saving throw. You just need a 20 or higher.
Okay.
Pretty simple.
29.
29. There is a huge, not a huge, but a sizable boom of flame as Xander triggers lots of gases with his flame jets. And Piercy, you enjoy only 6 points of fire damage. Xander, you enjoy 12 points of fire damage.
Hold on. Was that I have evade.
Yes, you take no damage at all.
Okay.
Piercy, you're able to tumble out of the way. Xander, you take 12 points of fire. And wherever you're going, you are creating like a pre-sonic boom fire thing as you're going through. I don't know if you want to continue to go for speed or stop the chaos. Totally up to you.
Hey, watch out, now simmer down.
I just don't want to get my feet dirty. Poopy smells.
Why did you go into the sewer?
I didn't think it was gonna be this bad. The last time we went down, it was just a ghost and a balloon. It wasn't sticky.
Chunks of things are falling down into the sewer. Meanwhile, upstairs, back up top, some of you guys are approaching the gate. It's a lot of people. You can easily start to blend in. You can see there are those soldiers and guards I mentioned. They are taking a look at the crowd, and they are ripping off the hoods of any cloaks and taking a look at people. But they're letting everyone go on by, and you're still some distance away. And let's see, the four of you, Idrisil, Brenros, Iggy, and Sildren, you do see, once again, you hear first a nasty voice calling out, "And these terrorists must be stopped and destroyed and found and rooted out for the safety of the city." And you see that shaven head, plump priest, Bydor, I believe was his name, is standing in front of a gallows with a body hanging, a naked body this time, hanging in the, slightly swaying in the wind, with a wolf picture with a red line crossed from it, arms tied behind its back, and you recognize it as Devar.
That's not good.
I will keep my head down and keep moving with Brenros at my side.
All right.
And I'm very much acting like his kind of steward, almost in a way.
Okay.
Like I'm not holding his shield. He wouldn't let me do that, but I'm holding everything he'll let me hold.
You three move on and notice that Iggy is not and is standing there and staring.
No, Sildren's sticking with Iggy.
I want to murder that priest.
We, I think, have to now. Not right this moment, but that priest, I think, has earned a certain fate. I am with you on that, Iggy. But for now...
You're going to say not right now, though, aren't you?
Not right now. That is indeed correct, but we need to get to the Nexus, and we need to find this priest at another time and deal with him as I feel now we must. But for now, we need to cross and get to the Nexus.
Oh, well, let's get through and then we'll talk.
Is there another way other than the bridge to get through? I'm fearing Iggy won't be able to get across since they're checking everybody.
Make a society roll.
Fun.
Those are my favorite.
7.
You know of. You don't even think there's a bridge and gate into the city.
You can't get there from here. It's
Gotta go through the sewers.
What Iggy make that same roll?
Of knowing of a way? Sure.
Fucking hell! Never mind.
Natural 1. Nope.
You both agree there's no bridge. The sewer is the only way.
Yeah.
there is no spoon.
These caravans don't know where they're going.
Are we even in Mearscon at this point?
Yeah, that's the question.
We
All right.
take a barge and start heading down river.
You guys follow this crowd. Some people are annoyed, trying to get their goods through. Some people are excited that they're going to be dealing with this fun celebration. And you guys follow the crowd in. And the guards and soldiers cast looks at the 4 of you. Renros, Idrisil, Iggy, and Sildren. And they let all of you go save one, and that is the Knight of the Order of the Vigilant. And one of the Navaran soldiers in his black armor with silver trim holds out and says, "You there, Knight!" And he waves for you to come closer, Brenros.
Brenros will approach, probably waving subtly to Idrisil to keep going and leave him.
Yeah, I'm gonna be as bumbling and like clumsy as I can, pretending to be the steward.
All right. The guard calls out and says, "What's your business here in town, Knight?"
Business brings a sad day. I am here to honor the dead. It is an unfortunate time, but passing has occurred. So I am here to pay respects, hence my garb. I am not here to celebrate. I hope you will let me pass.
Who has passed away?
A friend of the order.
He says, very well, and watches you closely as you walk on by and just kind of turns and watches you go and keeps a close eye on you, but lets you pass on by.
Okay.
All of you have reached the other. All of you have reached the other side, the Long Pier district. You can see they are setting up some, cordoning off some area that looks to have some hay bales and some rope cordoned off, and you recognize it as a route to be run. So it's some sort of challenge here that's going up the entire length of the Long Pier docks. As they're starting that up, you guys smell Piercy and Xander as they have just popped out of a hidden sewer grate from behind a shop and see you guys in the crowd and come approaching. The crowd's kind of parting.
We're same time back to back. Like, you move, do you move?
Howdy ho!
But one of you is slick, and the other one is
Sticky
Fire.
Idrisil will take off his cloak and cover Piercy with it, whether he likes it or not.
All right.
Thank you.
Cover that armor.
There's Tabit. But thank you.
You've got this robe on. You look like a little girl in a big dress type of a thing trailing behind you.
I'm more imagining
I feel so
a
pretty.
Jawa type
Yep.
thing.
Yeah.
Butini.
Mhm.
All right. Where are you guys headed?
To the Nexus, I believe.
No one. We have no idea. We just. You tell us, Tom.
Do we want to go visit the? How many of us want to go visit Mother?
That's what I was gonna say. Is if you guys want to go to the Nexus, that is fine. I will meet you there in a bit. But I want to take Jix's things to his parents.
Why don't we all go to Thale? We need to speak to Yandamore.
I smell really bad. I smell really, really bad. This is a terrible idea. It
different
smells down there.
than how you smelled before, friend.
Oh, really? Then I'm fine. And screw your face.
Ouch.
My little friend, simmer down.
I suggest ones who haven't trodden through the filth of the city should probably be in attendance to speak with the mother. No offense to either of you, but even though you're clean, I don't think the smell is appropriate. I should go. I am still in formal garb. I believe Ignal should go. We should...
Couldn't stop him.
We still need to be very careful, as a large group would gather quite a bit of suspicious eyes, I think. But that's just me.
Piercy, we've already been through a lot of shit together.
Literally.
I think you should come with me. And Pierce and Xander will start leading him towards the Nexus.
Where we
All
are
right.
going?
I'm going to get you cleaned up, and I'm going to show you the safest place in the world.
The foreigners. Let's go.
All right, and where are the other four of you off to?
I'm gonna remain with Iggy until we separate to go to. I'm gonna go to Yandamore's manor,
Okay.
Elderbrook, I think.
All right,
And I believe he's gonna go to see Mother.
to Mother and Brenrose and Sildren.
Since I
Nurse is
wasn't
traveling
with Jix when he fell, I will actually travel with Idrisil.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Brenrose?
Traveling with Ignal.
Okay.
Two.
Ignal and Brenrose, the two of you walk through the city, trying to avoid any notice, and find your way at the home of Jix's parents. Ignal, you look decidedly uncomfortable, and the normal stoic Brenrose continues that as well. And you are outside the door, neither of you eager to knock upon it.
Thank you for coming with me, Brenros.
Of course. Are you ready for this?
Is anybody ever ready for such a thing?
True.
But it is something that has to be done. They need to mourn as much as we do, and we need to honor our friend.
Then steady yourself. And Brenrose will rap upon the door.
Brenrose, you knock upon the door. After a moment, you hear the voice of Mother saying, just a minute. And she unlocks the door and opens it up, and she's there in her beautiful apron and wiping her hands off with a little tan towel. And she says, "Oh my, it's you. It's great to see you. Come in. Where is everyone?"
It is just us right now, Mother.
May we come in?
Come in. And she gets you in and closes the door behind you and says, it's just me. Father's away on some business. I'll get you something warm in your bellies.
Oh, Mother, that is not necessary. Can you please sit down with us? We would like to talk.
Of course. Come in. And she brings you into their very formal-looking living room with fancy furniture, and she sits down with you guys. So, what's been going on? What have you and Jix and the rest have been getting into? Something crazy, I imagine?
Mother, there is no easy way to say this, but your son Jix is dead. He died heroically, he died bravely, but he has passed away.
Well, I don't understand. And she goes over to the door and opens it and looks outside. Jix?
And Ignal will go over and steady her by putting an arm around her shoulders and leading her back to her chair.
What do you mean he's dead? You mean he's not dead?
He very much is dead, Mother. He died in battle.
That's not possible.
It is. And I have some things that I think he would want you to have. And I want you to know that I am
It's not
here.
possible.
We are all here for whatever you need.
It's not possible. Jix is alive. Tell me he's lying.
I cannot.
No.
Your son stood before Navarran soldiers. He took a fatal blade.
I can't lose both of them. No.
He died in service to the king. He died for his country. His spirit will live on.
Jixie.
Renrose puts hands at Ignal's back. You did well.
She goes upstairs and goes into Jix's room and closes the door behind her. And you hear her continue to cry. And we will stop there for tonight.